Gordon Hayward's agent, Mark Bertelstein, tells ESPN, Gordon hasn't made a decision yet. We are still working through it.
Okay. So
David Aldridge also saying this, that it's not over.
Where do you think he should go?
I think he's not going to make that big of a difference in Boston, so stay in Utah and get the maximum amount of money.
Where does his career go from there? Not money-wise, but
just Utah. And just
he disappears.
I'm not sure if maybe he doesn't care. He gets the ball. Collect a check.
Ultimately, obviously, look, do what you want. You know, he can do what he wants if he's cool in Utah and not being very well known, then fine. But if you, like I said, I believe. And I think this would be the case for you if you made the NFL. No, you played at Ball State. You would want money. I heard you were a beast, too, from you, but still.
You did not hear that.
You want money, you want to win, and you want individual acclaim, right?
No.
Okay, what would your goals be?
I want money. And
Period?
Anything else is irrelevant. Seriously. No.
I know when you played basketball in Indiana, because everybody plays basketball growing up in Indiana, that you were one of those brothers that kept your stats in your head.
Yeah, because
you
there
knew
were
you
so
were
few
7
stats.
for 15 for 15 points, 1 for 2 from the line. You knew at all times how many rebounds.
No, there were very few stats, and so I could count the huffing and puffing more than I could the points and rebounds. But seriously, Chris. Now this will sound hard to believe because people have a lot of stupid narratives about me. But give me the money without the fame. The fame is a burden. Is a burden. It's
we get a little bit of it, and it's
no. It's a burden because trust. Not here. This is one of the things I love about Los Angeles. There is no fame out here unless you're Tom Cruise or Denzel Washington. No one out here cares. And I love Kansas City and I love Indianapolis to death. But when I was in Kansas City, being well known was a burden. Anywhere you went, people were whispering, talking about you. I didn't like it. But that's what I love out here. No one knows.
It's not just about being well known. It can be about, you want, like I said, he may never make another all-star team if he stays in the West. That's important. And when I was a 12-year-old baseball player in Little League, I wanted to make the all-star team. So you can imagine as a professional, those things matter. He goes to the East, he's making it maybe every year for the next 4 or 5 years. He's got a chance to go deeper in the playoffs and a legitimate chance to get to the conference finals every year. I think in Utah, they're pretty good, but it's stacked out there, especially after these moves. So I just think it's not even about fame. It's about the being able to accomplish individual and team goals, I believe, at a higher level than he could do in Utah.
Look, I would want to win for sure because losing stinks. And it creates for a terrible environment. It's not fun to go to work. And so, but he may feel like, hey, man, in Utah, if I'm not going to win the title, maybe I can win almost as many games in Utah as I can in Boston.
That means nothing. Winning 51 regular season games means nothing.
All right, well, again,
how deep are you going to go in the playoffs?
Unless there's a deal to be traded to the Warriors.
But would you rather be first round and out or conference finals?
First round and out so I can get to the golf course quicker. All right, Chris. Kevin Durant took less money this year, $10 million, so they could keep the Golden State Warriors together. Is this good or bad for the NBA?
I think it's great. I think the Warriors are going to be great for the NBA and are great for the NBA. Now, I know they're going to run through everybody, including Cleveland. Cleveland might make it a little bit better this year, a little bit tougher than it was last year. But
5.5 games.
A closer 5. But these things are great for leagues. When Jordan ran through the league and won 6 out of 8 because he wasn't there for a year and a half, it was great. When it was the Lakers and Celtics, virtually every year, one of them at least getting to the finals, It was great in the 80s. Shaq and Kobe were great for the league. The Miami Heat, the Heatles, as Joy will attest to, were great for the league. This team is better than the Heatles. This team is tremendous. It could be one of the all-time greats. This is going to be lovely for the NBA.
You know what you sound like? I used to eat at Applebee's and thought it was awesome. Applebee's. Let's go to Applebee's. Every date started at Applebee's. Then somebody took me to Ruth Chris. I ain't been back to Applebee's since. And so, again, it's like it's
okay,
what
but I don't get the analogy.
Because, again, this is what we've always known in the NBA, and we think that there's nothing better. And better competition and a bit more parity would actually be better for the NBA. We just haven't been exposed to it yet.
I would like to see more super teams. I would like to see 3 or 4 or 5 teams that could legitimately beat Golden State. So I'm with you there. But do I want to see a league where maybe there's no dynasties, no potential dynasties, and a different team is winning every year? No, because we saw that. The worst decade the NBA has ever had, that's what we had in the 1970s.
Oh, don't even go back to the 70s.
8 teams won championship, whatever the case. 8 teams won championships in the 1970s, and the league was at its worst point. Games were on tape delay. So, come on, like, we've seen it.
George Gervin was the most sober player during that stretch.
Oh, please.
And everybody
Julius Erving was in the league at that. I mean, Golden State, Portland, Boston, New York, LA, Washington, Seattle, the Lakers, they all won championships, and it was dull. We want potential dynasties, if not pure dynasties.
Who were the transcendent superstars during that stretch?
Every one of those teams had one. In 70 and 73 for the Knicks, Willis Reed, Clyde Frazier, transcendent.
Willis Reed was
not
overweight.
to mention Earl the Pearl Monroe. Okay, in 71, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson in Milwaukee. You asked. Yeah. All right, in 72, Wilt Chamberlain, Gail Goodrich, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor on the DL for the Lakers. I mean, Rick Barry for Golden State. Dave Cowens with Boston, Dr. J, even though they lost to Portland, Bill Walton in Portland, Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld in Washington, Seattle, Dennis Johnson, Gus Williams, Freddie Downtown Brown.
Stop! Leave me a fig leaf.
I wish I could drop this mic, man. I wish I could drop the mic.
That was very impressive, Chris.
It's very good.
Off the top of
my
my head.
memory's just not that good. I don't know how people have that great a memory, and I watched all those teams and players. All right. What do you think of my idea of NBA contracts having some of the money tied to wins and losses?
I mean, obviously you'd have to work out the particulars, but I don't hate that. I mean, I don't know how you would work it out, but because I've had players tell me that during the season you're playing with a team and they may want you to sacrifice some scoring for the betterment of the team, right? And players may do it. But then when you sit down in negotiations, the team is like, you only average 9 points a game, you know? So you're saying, well, hold on. I sacrificed for the team. We won 50 games, whatever the case. And they're not looking at it that way. They're going to point out your stats. You average 9 points. So-and-so averaged 9 points and only got $4 million a year. That's where you should be at. So it does can put players in a quandary. Maybe that would be good for teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, because winning would pay off not only in, these, I don't know the word, but in these intangible ways that we look at winning, it would actually have some concrete value placed on winning for the role players, not just a LeBron James who rises in the GOAT conversation and all that when he wins. So I think it's good. How you would do it is a question, but I wouldn't hate that.
I mean, like, if LeBron James had $200,000 riding on every victory.
Oh, every victory.
So every victory. If he won 60 games during the regular season, that's an extra $12 million.
Yeah, that means something.
Yeah.
If you said 200,000 riding on every, a championship, that obviously does.
Every game.
That's a good point. I mean, again, and you probably haven't fleshed it all out, but I don't think it's a bad idea if it could be worked into the salary cap and all that.
The sixth man on the team may have 50,000 riding on every game. And
so even a tiered.
Yeah, so it would go down. You'd
have to have tiers. That'd be interesting how you would tier the players.
It would be
based
fascinating.
On stats or all-star. They tier them to some degree anyway in certain ways.
No, but I'm saying
NBA
every team would have a tier. They'd slot their players 1 to 15, or if you didn't have a player that you didn't feel was worthy of being slotted number 1, your best player may be a number 3.
I would probably let it be an objective, way of knowing, like certain points per game or all-star teams or all NBA, rather than having a team choose.
Yep.
But let there be an objective standard or measure. Okay, but would each player still have a base salary as well?
Yeah. So LeBron would make a base of $20 million, and there may be another $12 million he can earn for victories.
That's not bad. You wouldn't have guys sitting out as much.
No.
Like
fans would be sitting there on edge because the players would be sitting there on edge.
Every game would matter.
Because mama would be sitting there watching, oh, baby gonna get $75,000 tonight if you.
I like that.
Boom.
I like that a lot.
Awesome.
I like that.